Big Bang Mike here, and these are Underrated Martial Arts Icons, Part 1. In this series, I'm going to go over martial artists that have probably influenced you in some way, but have somehow flown under the radar. Today, we're talking about Don the Dragon Wilson. Don the Dragon began his career in the early days of kickboxing before people even knew what kickboxing was. In the span of a 4-decade professional career, he has amassed 11 world titles and 47 knockouts. But moreover than that, the dude is a looker. I mean, look at this dude. He quickly got a Hollywood career in the middle of his professional fighting career, starring in a ton of movies, mainly of the sort that millennials like me will remember from their movie rental shelves. His talent and his charisma made him a mainstay in the martial arts industry, gracing the covers of martial arts magazines many times over, and helping people learn the beauty of martial arts alone through video instructionals, the original YouTube. Chances are the people you're learning from today learned something from Don the Dragon. Big Bang Mike here, and these are Underrated Martial Arts Icons Part 2. We're going over people who deserve more love in the martial arts industry yet seem to fly under the radar. Today I want to talk about Michael Dudikoff. Michael Dudikoff is probably primarily known for starring in the American Ninja series created by Canon. And for looking exactly like James Dean. That's weird, that's a doppelganger, right? We covered this series on the It's So Bad It's Good Martial Arts Movies playlist on TikTok. And he started in a slew of movies beyond this series, but the American Ninja series sort of taught a lot of people that anybody could be a ninja, regardless as to where you came from, or what you looked like. And while admittedly the series can border on cultural appropriation and like a white savior complex thing, sprinkled in with a smidge of American exceptionalism, it taught a whole generation that anyone, regardless of race, color, or creed, become a kick-butt ninja. Even me. Now like and follow for more awesome martial arts content. It's Big Bang Mike here, and these are Underrated Martial Arts Icons Part 3. For past and future installments of the series, I made a playlist on TikTok, so you don't have to miss anything. Today we're talking about Cynthia Rothrock. Rothrock starred in over 30 action films over the span of the 80s and the 90s, and was a mainstay of martial arts magazine publications of the time. But what a lot of people forget is that Rothrock is probably one of the first action movie martial arts heroines to be taken seriously at the time. The industry was sort of dominated by dudes. She got her start on the martial arts competition circuit of like the 80s and 90s, where she specialized in Chinese styles of martial arts, a category that white women didn't really do so well, or at least at her caliber. It was there where she caught the eye of Golden Harvest Production Company. You know them, they did all of Bruce Lee's films. And Ninja Turtles, randomly. She actually got famous in China first, before coming back and empowering young girls to become badass. It's Underrated Martial Arts Icons Part 4, and I am your host, Big Bang Mike. As always, if you're liking these videos, you gotta give some comments and some shares and stuff, because they don't really do well on this app. Today we're talking about Sonny Chiba. Sonny Chiba is widely recognized as the first international superstar who got famous due to his martial arts talent. So if you dig martial arts films and their actors, you pretty much have him to thank. He started his career on a Japanese television show known as The Seven Colored Masks, a Power Rangers-style tokusatsu show. But his breakout role was a movie series known as The Street Fighter. No, not that one, but likely inspired in part by it. It's hard to overstate the legacy of this man's career and his contributions to the martial arts industry. It's surprising that more people don't know about him. But of course, Quentin Tarantino did. Here's him portraying Hattori Hanzo in the contemporary classic Kill Bill. When you think about goats of martial arts cinema, this man's name has to be included. Now hit follow. Underrated Martial Arts Icons Part 5, and this is me, I'm Big Bang, I'm hosting this thing. If you've made it to Part 5, you like what I'm doing here, man, you might as well follow. But who I want to talk about today is Tai Mok. If you don't know who this man is, you need to do your homework, but I guess that's my job here today, right? He's a lifelong student of the martial arts, most notably recognized as Bruce Leroy Green, the master of Harlem whom has the glow, in the 1980s movie The Last Dragon. He's done a ton of things since then, including working with Madonna and writing a book about his life. The reason why this character stuck so truly though with viewers is while we're finally starting to get representation of African American and black heroes in our current cinema, in 1983 that wasn't really the case. Now, black culture has always had this awesome relationship with martial arts films. I'm not the person to describe this to you. There's an awesome video on YouTube. Tai Mok was a pioneer in that respect. Big Bang Mike here, and this is episode 6 of Underrated Martial Arts Icons. This is a series of martial artists that have flown under the radar that you should probably know about because they influence your culture. Today we're talking about Lateef Crowder. Lateef Crowder is a Brazilian-born martial artist and actor who's probably done as much to put capoeira on the map as only The Strong did in the early 80s. He exploded onto the scene with a stunt team in the early 2000s, and since has risen to be part of your favorite martial arts franchises, including some that are lesser known for their martial arts. Lateef fought Tony Jaa in The Protector using his titular capoeira style, as well as Scott Adkins in the Undisputed series in the same manner. And obviously, because of the verisimilitude in looks and skill set, he rocked it as Eddie Gordo in the Tekken movie. You can catch Lateef's influence right now on Disney+, as he's one of 2 in-suit actors on The Mandalorian. Including other Star Wars franchises, I worked with him on the Book of Boba Fett. Episode 6 of Underrated Martial Arts Icons, I'm Big Bang Mike. Make sure you're supporting this type of content by following and liking, otherwise it's just political hot takes, and who wants that? Let me introduce you to Jimmy Wang. Jimmy Wang is one of the earliest examples of a martial arts movie icon. His career predates Bruce Lee, and some might argue that Bruce Lee owes him a debt of gratitude. Because most martial arts movies predating Jimmy Wang were mainly of a historical aspect involving lots of weapons. Jimmy Wang's Balrog of a blockbuster, The Chinese Boxer, changed all that. It was in this movie where for the first time we started seeing the more hand-to-hand aspect of martial arts movies that we've all come to know and love. But this movie was more than just the first of its kind. It inspired droves of kids in China to study Chinese martial arts at a rate heretofore unprecedented. Some even theorize that the Chinese boxer saved Kung Fu. But what do you think? Like and follow. Big Bang Mike here, and welcome to Underrated Martial Arts Icons Part 8. Quick aside, I contacted a bunch of black creators to do this video alongside of me, however none of them got back to me, so you gotta learn about this guy from me. Let's talk about the late great Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly is unanimously regarded as the first black martial arts icon. He won a bunch of titles and awards in combative martial arts in the 60s, and opened up his own martial arts school in Crenshaw, California. When days before shooting a major studio film, an actor would drop out of production, leaving Warner Brothers scrambling. Enter Jim Kelly. That movie, by the way, no big deal, just a tiny little film called Enter the Dragon. Turns out Bruce Lee was not the only breakout actor to play a character in that role. Jim Kelly's Williams struck a chord with many a person. He went on to star in multiple series of films in the 70s, truly sparking an entire generation of martial artists. Now hit follow and go watch Black Belt Jones. Big Bang Mike here, and this is Underrated Martial Arts Icons Part 9. This is the series where we give love to martial arts icons that have somehow flown under the radar that you should probably know. And today we're talking about Simon Rhee. Simon Rhee has been a staple in the martial arts and movie industry since, well, I've been around. You probably remember him the most from the Best of the Best movie, where he played titular bad guy, not so bad guy in the end, Dae Han. But what you may not know is that Simon has been coordinating your view of martial arts in cinema for decades. Sometimes via smaller, more blink-if-you-miss-it style appearances in martial arts cinema, but mostly in training the celebrities that you see doing awesome things on TV and cinema every day. Yes, that is Miss Piggy. Cool fun fact about Simon, though, is even though he's hit Hollywood hard, he hasn't let that deter him from what the spirit of martial arts is truly about: training the next generation. He still owns, runs, and operates his own martial arts school, the way a real martial artist should. Big Bang Mike here, and this is the last episode of Underrated Martial Arts Icons. It's part 10. Look, these endings are arbitrary, so if you like it, blow this video up, I might do more. We're ending with Michael Jai White. Michael Jai White is one of those actors that frustratingly, I feel like has been on the cusp of superstardom for like ever. Dude's been a paragon of the martial arts community and a prominent figure in the African-American community since like forever. How this dude hasn't spearheaded a Marvel franchise is just beyond me. Michael Jai White's breakout role was in Tyson by HBO Films, where he played, well, Tyson. From there he moved on to the feature movie adaptation of Spawn by Todd McFarlane, where he became the first African-American to portray a superhero in a major motion picture franchise. He also played the lead in a movie I love called Black Dynamite. It's this love letter to blaxploitation era martial arts films, the likes of we've covered previously. If you're not familiar with Michael Jai White and his works, rectify that.